Hi guys, Ready Set RC, and today we have the Horizon Hobby Arrma Outcast 8S. It's a ready-to-run four-wheel drive electric stunt truck. It has the Spectrum Smart electronics in this. We have the D-boot backflips on here, the laser etched chassis. We have the side pods to protect from dirt and dust, the wheelie bar on the rear. We have the composite front and rear shock towers on this truck. We have the tower-to-tower center brace, similar to what you would see on the Creighton 1.5, where you're seeing that center brace has a joint in the middle and oil-filled adjustable shocks all around. This truck has the sliding motor mount, waterproof electronics, 20mm bore shocks, all metal diff outdrives and gearbox internals, a heavy-duty dual-spring servo saver, and steel drive shafts throughout. The dimensions of the Outcast 8S: the length is 28.11 inches, or that's 714 millimeters. The height is 12 inches, or 305 millimeters. The width is 23.46 inches, or 596 millimeters, and the weight is 24.2 pounds, or 11 kilograms. What we have included in the box is the Spectrum DX3 smart controller. For the servo, we have a S905 waterproof 40 kilogram metal geared servo. For the ESC, we have the Firma 160 amp smart waterproof ESC. It's 6S and 8S capable. It comes with IC5 connectors, also compatible with EC5. And for the motor, we have a 4685 1250 kV motor. It's brushless. What you would need to complete this RC is 4 AA's, of course a LiPo bag to charge the 6S or 8S batteries, a charger, and the batteries needed for the vehicle. Just everything on this truck, guys, just screams large and in charge. And I am looking forward to seeing this truck in action. But that's it, guys. Let's get this truck out of the box and let's see what the Arrma Outcast 8S is all about. But here we are, guys, the Arrma Outcast 8S out of the box. This thing looks amazing. I know I say that about most of the trucks that I have, but this thing really does look amazing. Camera, video does nothing for this. The red is super bright. I only put my own personal touch. I don't know if it's coming up on the camera. I did paint the wheels on here, but this truck just screams beef by all means. Now, I do not own an Outcast 6S, but I do own the 4S Outcast, and if this is anything like the 4S in regards to its performance, I'm really going to enjoy this one, guys. I'm really going to enjoy this. Now, I didn't hop on the bandwagon with the Creighton 8S, so I don't have an 8S to compare to this, but I do have a few large monster trucks, and I'm talking about trucks that are considered 1/7 scale all the way up to 1/6 scale. And I do have some monster trucks that I could compare this to for size comparisons, just so you guys can see what this thing really looks like compared to some of the other trucks you may have in your collection. So this is the controller. This is the Spectrum DX3. This thing is amazing looking, guys. Feels really great in the hands. Does not feel anything like the DX2. I mean, this thing really does feel perfect. You have steering, throttle limiter, which is the 50, 75, and 100. Before you run it, just make sure you look at it, look and see what it's limited to, but you have the ability now on a large vehicle like this to have it set to 50, 75, and 100. What they also have too is a smart battery level, and this works well if you are in the Spectrum family. So if you use Spectrum batteries, this will also detect what the levels are. I have never had a DX3 and be able to report this kind of data. I am pleased to see that Horizon Hobby has really stepped it up and pushing this technology right now. Some of the other things I see on the controller, you have the AVC, the steering rate here, brake rate, steering trim, and throttle trim. From what I'm seeing here, I know you probably can't pick that up on the camera, but there's a 4-pin port that's here. It looks like there is going to be some other piece of telemetry technology or a capabilities of providing you more information on your vehicle that's going to be added here. Can't wait to see. I'm not aware exactly what that's going to be, but can't wait to see what that is. Of course, you got steering, throttle, but then you also have a third channel right here by my thumb. for other functionalities that you may want to add to this vehicle. This controller also takes 4 AA's. You have some bits and also the wrench. What I'm also noticing in here, they do have the high-speed pinion. I believe from what I've seen from Arrma, this is the pinion that you need to run to really get the standing backflips out of this truck. I will definitely be testing that out as well, guys. Arrma's wonderful sticker sheet. What you also get in with the truck, guys, is a nice, wonderful blowout of all the parts used on the truck. This is nice. Arrma always does a pretty good job of providing detail. And lastly, you have the owner's manual. As I said, guys, Arrma does a really good job with providing their owner's manual and providing detail on their vehicles. One of the best that I've seen out there. But now that we're done with that, guys, let's get into this truck. This thing looks amazing. As I said before, you have the D-boot backflips on here. This is kind of the standard that you get on all of the Outcasts, from the 4S line to the 6S line to the now 8S line. The backflips is what you want. The backflips are some serious performing tires that are on this truck. I stand by them. I use them on even my 6S Creighton. I really do enjoy the backflips. These are just a larger, blown up version of the ones that I even run on my Creighton, which are actually from the 4S lineup. But just looking this over, you have all this protection for the body. These body clips are amazing, guys. This body clip technology looks like the same that I've seen on the Creighton 8S. Excellent way of protecting the body as you're putting those pins in. You have those skid protectors on the roof, and then you have that rear cage on there. Those screws that are in there are for the sparks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the other Outcasts out there, but that's the reason why they have the screws everywhere, for getting those sparks when you flip over. So as I said, guys, this is an 8S truck. It also is capable of running on 6S. The minimum C rating that you should be running on this truck is 50C. I preferably run nothing but 100C when I get to this level, but they are saying the lowest you should run on this is 50C. So no 25 and 30Cs on this truck, guys. Just going through the other parts of the outside here, we have this durable front bumper on the truck. We have this large wing to create that downforce on the rear. We have this massive wheelie bar coming off the back. I mean, this has got to be one of the largest wheelie bars that I have seen. The hexes on the wheels are 24mm hexes. Just going through it from front to rear, we have a composite shock tower coming off the front with also a composite shock caps on here with 20mm bore shock. Composite upper and lower arms. Super thick though, guys. I mean, this thing is just super thick. Coming off of that, we have adjustable turnbuckles. We have that large servo saver up in the front. We have that front chassis support coming off the shock tower down to the motor mount. We have the upper chassis support coming off and coming over here to the center. Then we have a second chassis support coming off that center over to the rear. We have another lower chassis support coming from the shock tower over to the motor mount again. And then we have a brace, a chassis brace on the lower half of that center support. Two pretty decent sized battery trays. I run Power Hobby batteries. They're the 6500 mAh 100C, and they fit perfectly within this truck. Towards the rear, we have another composite shock tower, metal turnbuckles again, and we have the 20mm big bore shocks again in the rear. We have pillow ball suspension up in the front. As for electronics, we have the 160 amp Firma ESC with a cat pack. IC5 connectors coming off, also EC5 compatible. For the motor, we have a 1250 kV motor. It is 6S and 8S capable. It is a 4-pole construction. The bullet connectors that are coming off of the motor are 6.5mm, and for the shaft coming off of the motor, it's a 5mm shaft. But that's it, guys. Let's get some size comparisons going with the Arrma Outcast 8S. All right, guys, this is when I wish I really had the real estate to show you just how big these trucks are. So you have the Arrma Outcast 8S. This is my Sen, Colossus, Reeper, American Force, whatever they're calling it these days. This is the Sen truck. This truck is approximately, I mean, I've heard it called 1/7 scale, 1/6 scale, depending on who are you talking to for the day? That's kind of where this truck falls in. And if you see the dimensions between the two trucks, you'll see that 1/5 scale, I don't know, but it is a large truck, and the Sen Colossus is a large truck. This is a twin vertical plate chassis for those who are not familiar with the Sen. So it's two totally different trucks. I'm comparing them solely based on size. So I'll show you guys some other visuals where you can see the length of the Sen Colossus. It is a longer truck. I'll put these trucks on top of each other so you guys can see the width. Now I have modded my Sen with quite a bit of parts. So even the width on the Sen, it is not stock. I modded the width of this. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. But if you have a stock Sen, it is gonna be narrower than my Sen. My Sen is extended in the width of the truck. Now, even with the modded width of my Sen, you can clearly see which truck is wider on here. And as I said, this is a modded Sen. I modded this Sen to be wider than it is stock. You can see for yourselves how big the Arrma Outcast 8S truly is. Just another view of the sizes of the two trucks, but I just wanted you guys to see that here. But let's get the next truck out, guys. But here we are, guys, the final size comparison. We have the Arrma Outcast 8S. We have the Traxxas XMaxx 8S. You guys can see the sizes between the two. A little bit lower here in the front for the XMaxx, but do remember that the XMaxx is running a true monster truck style chassis. So you have the high center of gravity in the center, and where this is running a flat chassis on it. But as you guys know, this is not the standard body on the Traxxas XMaxx. This is a Pro-Line body, so it is a little higher up here. But you guys can see for yourselves the size comparisons of these two trucks. The Traxxas XMaxx is just slightly longer than the Arrma Outcast. As for widths, you guys can clearly see once again that the Outcast is just a wider truck. And here we are, guys, last angle, Traxxas XMaxx, Arrma Outcast. But that's it, guys, we're done with the unboxing of the Arrma Outcast 8S. We're gonna get this thing in some dirt, get it on the ramps, see what this truck is all about. But please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest posts to the channel. This is Ready Set RC signing out. Thanks again, guys.